everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, and we're going to get right to it about what to do for your eBay sales. And for those of you that are listening to me, not seeing, I have a winter hat on and I have my scarf on, and I'll explain that in a minute. But what do you do as a seller when you're not able to get your mail out? It's a huge question. It's one you need to consider, and I'll explain all the ramifications because especially if you're a newer seller or my more advanced sellers, you know when snow hits and flooding and storms and all kinds of things that can happen, what do I do when I have a same or a one business day handling? Hi, Sharon, how are you? And I cannot, hey, David, and I cannot get my mail out, right? So for those of you who don't know, I'm in New York City, and recently we got slammed with snow. Typically for us here in New York, we'll get snow, but it's like a couple of inches, which for us it's just not a big deal. Now, obviously, if you're in the South, because I've seen this happen, if you're in Georgia or Alabama, and I remember when this happened in Georgia, if you're in Georgia and you get half an inch or an inch of snow, it's like a state of emergency for that state. So every state is different. Every part of the country is different. So for us here in New York, and I think for most of the Northeast, a couple of inches, the plows are out, the salt is out, everything keeps moving, unless there's huge winds or something. But we got slammed. I mean, it was well over a foot of snow and it came down fast and furious. So what happens, right? For most of us that are eBay sellers, most of us have one business day handling time. And what that means, so let me just get this out front because sometimes people don't understand this. A business day to eBay is Monday through Friday. So what that means is if you get a sale on Friday, you don't need to ship until Monday. Saturday and Sunday are not considered business days. Also, if there's a holiday, okay? So some sellers ship on Saturday anyway. I do. I ship 6 days a week. I have a post office in my area that's open on Saturday. But let's say I hadn't. So that means I had my Friday sales, my Saturday sales, and my Sunday sales all backlogged. And for many sellers, that's anything from 10, 15, 20 packages to 50, 100 packages or more due to go out on Monday. You have a huge storm hit. What do I do? And for those of us here in New York, our storm was so severe that we were advised not to go out. It was a travel advisory. It was put out. It was on all our local TV stations. It came through on the phone. You get these emergency alerts on the phone. And we were told not to go out. Okay. Now, I have a very venturesome husband, and he had snow boots on and he felt like going out. And I had 2 big IKEA bags of mail, and he took my mail to the post office. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. But let's say I didn't. And I've got one business day handling, which means my mail is supposed to go out on Monday. And let's say it didn't go out on Monday. At least here in our neighborhood, there was no mail trucks, no mail delivery. So even if you'd had your local postal carrier pick up your mail, they weren't around on Monday. So no mail on Monday. What do? I went to the eBay site. If you don't know this, when there is a weather emergency anywhere in the United States, so it could be in the South, it could be the Midwest, it could be the West, anything going on that would impede the mail, typically within 24 hours of the situation, on the eBay community board, announcements. And if you're not familiar with this, just Google eBay announcements. Go there and it will say what eBay's doing. For instance, there was a lot of shipping delays over the holidays for 2020. The coverage that sellers was getting was there. So if you have a big weather situation going on in your area, first thing is always go to the announcements board and see if eBay has posted anything about coverage. And on Monday, they had not said a thing about the snow. So what I did, I have what's called concierge customer service. For those of us that attended eBay Open when eBay ran the eBay Live events, eBay Open in Las Vegas, The attendees were rewarded with what is called concierge customer service. Anybody who has an anchor store or higher has access to eBay concierge. And what it is it's very high level, very good customer service based in the United States. It's like, yay, they're fabulous. So I called concierge and I said, hi, I'm in New York. We've been told not to go out, but I do not see anything on the announcements board about eBay covering us because we can't get our mail out. And the rep was very, very nice and said, I know they're discussing it right now. And we talked because here in New York City, we've had a couple of things. We had 9/11 years ago. There was anthrax, postal things going on. We've had Superstorm Sandy. I mean, we've had several things that have impeded the mail. And eBay has always come out with an announcement. They've always covered us. I mean, there's never been a weather situation that we've had to deal with where we're not covered. And that's what we talked about. And the concierge said, sometimes it takes eBay 24 hours to post, but they were not aware of eBay never taking care of sellers, with fires or storms or floods. So it's that thing of the coverage is coming, but you may not see it on the announcement board for 24 hours. What they did suggest, because this is what we were talking about, I grabbed screenshots. So with my phone, where's my phone? With my phone, I grabbed screenshots of the announcement from our mayor and the alert that came through on my phone. And I screenshotted it so that I had it just in case something would come up about, because I happen to have a lot of packages. If there was some kind of problem where I got dinged bad for a late shipment. So I grabbed all the information about the weather alert where it said we were told not to go out. We were instructed by our city government not to go out. And sure enough, as of yesterday, February 2nd, up on the announcement board is how eBay's going to cover us, for any late shipment. They said, when you have a weather situation coming in, it's always good to edit your handling time. I haven't had an issue with that, so I don't do that, but certainly you have time away. You can bulk edit your handling time. And certainly if there's a really huge storm coming in that's going to knock out power for several days, that's a really good idea to do time away. So they just reminded sellers that they do have that option. They said they will cover us. And this is how they do it, by the way, because I talked about this with concierge. So I'm in New York City. They know the zip codes that are impacted by the storm. So let's just say you're in Florida, right? Or you're in Georgia and you haven't had snow and you say, oh, there was this big storm on the East Coast. eBay knows what zip codes were impacted. So just in case you think you're going to be able to do that, eBay's smart and they know what zip codes. So just anything, I've got a hair on my face. So again, if there's a bad weather situation, they know what zip codes were impacted, but it is always, always good just to back yourself up, grab screenshots, write down the addresses where you saw the posts. But I find just grabbing screenshots is good. And then keep an eye on your dashboard. And this is why it's important. What you're concerned about as a seller is top rated seller status if you are a top rated seller, or top rated seller status if you're working towards getting enough transactions and sales for top rated seller, because on time shipping is a metric that is looked at for top rated sellers. So what you want to make sure is if any dings do show up, that they get taken off. Now, what eBay said in the announcement, and they do say this now, is that they will come off automatically. But just to cover yourself, keep an eye on it. You want to make sure it comes off so that you maintain your top rated seller status or you achieve top rated seller status. And the other thing, if you're not aware of this, hi, Brenda, how are you? Yes, sunny Florida. Florida gets storms too. Is, if you're not aware of this, is something like on-time shipping is a metric in best match. And this is why you want to watch this stuff. And they even say that if you Google eBay best match and don't look at what other people are saying about it, look at what eBay says about it. And if you read it, I'm like, do. One of the things they look at and they say very straight up in it is your track record as a seller, right? Part of your track record as a seller is getting your stuff shipped on time. Okay, so that's what I want to let you know is bad weather hits, eBay totally has your back. I do not know of any weather situation. And if you do, please comment below because I have never heard of one where any kind of really horrible weather happens and that you are not covered for late shipping. But for instance, like Monday was like, you were told not to go out, don't go out. And even part of Tuesday, they were saying it too. Now today is Wednesday, so it's 2 days. The storm started Sunday night. And for us here in New York City, if I remember correctly, it was pretty much over by like halfway through Monday. Is if today, Wednesday, I claim that I couldn't get my mail out, at least in the area that I'm at in the city, that just isn't true. The sidewalks are clear, the mail trucks are out, they're doing mail delivery, they're doing mail pickup. So just because there's a situation in your area doesn't mean like I get to extend my handling time or my grace period for days and days and days when the situation has changed. Now, again, different zip codes are different. So I'm in Midtown Manhattan, I'm near Port Authority. We get plowed out very, very fast. If I was in one of the boroughs, for instance, Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, Brooklyn, they can get much worse snow and take much longer to get plowed out. And perhaps they're not able to get in-person post office pickup, where your mail carrier picks up your mail. So if that's your situation, again, everybody's different. Every zip code is different. Just document it. Take pictures, show what's going on. But just be aware that whatever the situation is, you're going to have a grace period of a certain amount of time. And it's not like it's indefinite. That's what I wanted to say. So bad weather, personal safety is always number one. Absolutely take care of yourself. And then as soon as you're able, get your mail out. Consider time away because now it's available to us with and without a store. Before it was vacation settings and you had to have a store. That's no longer the case. Be smart. Take care of yourself, but get your mail out as soon as you can. Why? Because we're concerned as being top rated sellers. We're concerned about our best match criteria search. Okay. I have a great tip sheet for you. I just finished updating this and I want to make it available to you. It is completely free. It's on my website. So what you're going to do is you're going to hop over to ilovetobeselling.com and you're going to look for eBay and COVID-19 a seller's guide. And I just updated it because thankfully now with the vaccine, a lot of things are changing in the United States, but there's still a lot of restrictions on shopping. There still are shipping delays going on. There's still a lot of, there's retail, depends where you are in the United States, but some areas it's much harder to shop retail than others. So what I did was I created this guide with all kinds of troubleshooting for you. So if you're running into shipping delays, what can you do to remind you of the fact that a lot of people, online sales have skyrocketed if you haven't noticed. And if you haven't noticed, just Google it because fourth quarter from 2020, the financial reports are coming out and all the big retailers, online retailers are reporting like just mammoth increase in sales. So this surge to online selling is only going to increase, which is great for us. So I've got inventory tips for you because there's things that are selling now that you can source or that you might even have in your home unlisted, in piles or inventory that you haven't processed yet. That is a hot item, but because it wasn't hot maybe 6 months ago or 8 months ago, you're not aware of it. And it's like, get it listed, make the money. So I've got inventory tips for you. Also product sourcing, because product sourcing has changed about a lot of different ways to get really good products. And this is all free information for you in this seller guide. So be sure to grab it. I've also included promotional tips because if you're not aware of this, because a lot of brick and mortar, which are the physical stores, are having a harder time getting traffic, they're all going online. And a lot of them are coming onto eBay. You also have people, because of their job situation, where they might be having less hours, less money, they're coming onto eBay and selling their personal possessions. So what this means is no matter what category you're in, there is more competition. So whether you're selling ladies' hats, like the hat I have on, scarves, gloves, clothing, kids' toys, puzzles, which has been a huge category for eBay, games, home decor, anything you can think of. If you had 40 or 50 competitors before or 20, double that number. I mean, that's how many sellers are coming on. So I go over all the promotional tools you have available. What works now? That's what I'm very, very big on. You guys know this is it's great if it worked a year ago, but I want to know what's working now. And I give you lots and lots of tips on that. So hop to my website, grab the eBay and COVID a seller's guide. It is free, free, free. And it's oodles of pages and information to help you source and sell right now on eBay. And I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.